You don't have to start a business. Just buy one of these. Most people believe that in order to have a profitable business, they have to start from scratch. Come up with an idea, give it a name, find customers, pay for advertising, make mistakes, wait months, or even years until the business finally starts making money. But there's another path that almost no one talks about: buying businesses that already exist. Businesses that already have customers, already have sales, already have employees, already have cash flow. And that, if you know how to choose well, can give you a massive advantage from day one. The problem is that this is also where the trap is, because most of the businesses that seem easy to buy can destroy your savings. And the worst part is that many of them are exactly the ones that all the YouTube videos recommend. If you made it here, you probably have money saved. Money that took you years to build. Coffee by coffee, paycheck by paycheck, decision after decision. And now you're at that uncomfortable point where you know that leaving that money sitting still loses value every year. But you also know that investing it the wrong way could cost you everything you built. I've seen people lose the savings of an entire lifetime in businesses that looked like gems on the internet, but were rotten on the inside. Popular businesses. Safe businesses. Businesses recommended by gurus who have never risked a single real dollar out of their own pocket. And there's a reason serious entrepreneurs don't buy the same things influencers recommend. That's why, in this video, I'm going to analyze 9 types of businesses you might find for sale when you're looking to invest your savings in something that already works. But pay attention, not all of them are worth it. Some look like safe businesses and can destroy your money from the inside. Others look too boring, too dirty, or too simple. But that's exactly where the opportunity might be that almost no one is looking at. I'm going to rank them from trap to hidden gem. And at the end, I'm going to show you a category that almost no one mentions, one that many people consider disgusting, but that can be one of the best types of businesses to invest in. If you have savings and you don't want to lose them, this video can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars in mistakes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Let's get started. Business 1. E-commerce brands for sale. Let's start with the business that is sold the most as an opportunity on social media. Online stores for sale. Established e-commerce brands with products, with customers, with proven revenue. Has it ever happened to you that you're on Instagram and you see an ad that says, "This store makes $50,000 a month and I'm selling it for $80,000." It sounds perfect, right? Existing income, customers already buying, validation already done. You buy it, and you start making money on day one. But here's the problem that nobody tells you. E-commerce brands depend completely on algorithms that you don't control. The Facebook algorithm, the Google algorithm, the TikTok algorithm. Today they bring you cheap customers. Tomorrow the cost per click doubles and your margin disappears. Let me give you a concrete example. During the pandemic, air purifier brands were making millions. Everyone wanted to buy one. 3 years later, those same brands were up for sale because revenue dropped to a third. The people who bought them thinking they were getting an established business ended up with unsold inventory, debt, and suppliers putting pressure on them. So when you buy an e-commerce brand, you're not buying a business. You're buying a bet that the algorithm that worked for the previous owner is going to keep working for you. Honestly, I put this business in the trap category because it has no real barriers against competition. Anyone with a computer and $2,000 can create a similar brand tomorrow and steal your customers. But if you think this was tough, wait until you see the next one, because it's one of the most sold as the easy path to success. Business 2. Marketing or creative agencies. Agencies sound like the golden dream. Recurring clients paying every month, predictable income, an already built client portfolio. What could possibly go wrong? It almost happened to me. I was close to buying a marketing agency a few years ago. The spreadsheet looked incredible. 12 active clients, signed contracts, $80,000 a month in revenue, until I started digging deeper. It turns out 2 clients were generating 70% of the income, and those 2 clients were on month-to-month contracts. If one left, I would lose half the business in 30 days. But that wasn't even the biggest problem. The real problem is this. When you buy an agency, the knowledge leaves with the previous owner. Clients don't hire the agency. They hire the person who handles them, the relationship, the specific creative team. When the owner leaves, clients usually follow them or go somewhere else. And the cherry on top, Anyone with a computer and a LinkedIn account can build an identical agency in 6 months. There are no unique systems, no patents, no real barriers to entry. Have you ever wondered why serious entrepreneurs almost never buy agencies? Because they already know all of this. For all these reasons, I'm going to classify agencies as a trap. Yes, there are exceptions, but most agencies that are for sale because the previous owner already saw the problem coming. But now comes a business that is even more complicated because it requires you to sign a contract you can't easily get out of. Business 3. Franchises. Franchises are an interesting story. They could be excellent. They could be a disaster. And the difference between one and the other lies in details that almost nobody reviews before signing. Let me tell you something that really frustrated me. I know someone who invested $50,000 in a specialized cleaning services franchise. Cleaning disaster scenes, abandoned properties, things like that. He thought he had a solid business. What did he discover? That the franchise was taking a very high percentage of every job, that he couldn't sell the franchise whenever he wanted because the parent company had approval rights, and that he was competing with local operators who charged less because they didn't pay royalties. Here's the key difference. Big franchises like McDonald's or Domino's protect your territory. They block competition. They give you real brand power. But they cost hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars, and they require prior experience. Small or mid-sized franchises are usually a different story. You pay to use a name that almost nobody knows. You follow rules you don't control. You give up a percentage of every sale. And in the end, you're basically working for someone else without realizing it. But there's an important exception. I met someone who worked inside a franchise for 3 years before buying one. They learned every detail. When they bought it, they already knew exactly how to run it. That person is going to succeed. Because of all this, I classify franchises as risky. They can be excellent if you have prior experience and choose a large brand, but they can be a disaster if you buy impulsively or without understanding the model. And now comes the most sold trap on social media, the one you've probably seen 100 times and still believe is a good idea. Business 4. Pallet recycling and boring BB. 2B services. I know that when you heard pallet recycling, you thought it was a joke. But stay with me, because this is interesting. Every time you see a truck loaded with goods on a highway, those products are sitting on wooden pallets. Those pallets break, get lost, wear out. And someone has to repair them, recycle them, or replace them. That industry moves billions of dollars every year, and nobody talks about it. Why is it good? Because it has sticky clients. A company that hires you to recycle its pallets doesn't switch providers easily. The market is local and fragmented, which means you're not competing against massive corporations. And the barrier to entry is high for beginners because you need specific knowledge and connections with large companies. But there's a catch. Running this type of business is more complicated than it looks. You need to understand what types of pallets exist, how logistics work, how to negotiate with large companies. This isn't something you learn on YouTube in an afternoon. Have you seen those blue-painted pallets that move around on highways? They come from pallet recycling companies. Once you start paying attention, you'll see them everywhere. Because of its solid model, its barriers to entry, and its fragmented market, I'm going to classify boring B2B businesses like pallet recycling as good. It's not the gem of the video, but it's a serious option for someone willing to learn a business that doesn't look glamorous. Business 5. Commercial refrigeration. Here's an idea that almost nobody talks about, but it's brutal. Don't open a restaurant. Open a commercial refrigeration business. Why? Because when a restaurant's refrigerator breaks down on a Friday at 9 at night, they don't ask for the price. They don't request 3 quotes. They don't compare options on Google. They call the first person who answers and pay whatever it takes to have that refrigerator working before Saturday. That's called urgency, and urgency justifies premium pricing. An emergency commercial refrigeration service can charge anywhere from $300 to $1,000 for a single visit. And every restaurant in your city, every small supermarket, every cafe, every bakery depends on refrigeration equipment that will eventually fail. The best part of the business is that it comes with monthly maintenance contracts. The restaurant wants to prevent disaster, so they pay you a fixed fee every month to come in and check everything. That's recurring revenue. That's what separates a solid business from a fragile one. But there's an important warning here. To operate this business, you need specialized technicians, or you need to learn the trade yourself. You can't just buy the business and delegate everything from day one. You need to understand what's being done, or you'll be completely dependent on your employees, which is dangerous. Because of its recurring contracts, its pricing power driven by urgency, and its constant demand, I'm going to classify this business as good. If you find one with established clients and a functioning technical team, it's one of the most stable investments out there. Business 6. Local accounting services. This is the business that some investment funds are quietly buying while everyone else is busy fighting over laundromats. Let me explain why. Accounting and bookkeeping services for small businesses are an incredibly boring business. Boring is perfect. It means nobody is competing for them. Why is it excellent? First, clients are extremely sticky. A business that trusts you with its books doesn't switch accountants on a whim. The friction of switching is huge. That means revenue is predictable year after year. Second, you don't need to be an accountant to own the business. This is key. You buy an existing business with accountants already employed, and you manage from the top. Your job is to operate the business, not to do the books. Third, and here's the interesting part, artificial intelligence is revolutionizing this sector. Accounting processes that used to take hours now take minutes with AI. If you buy a traditional accounting firm and implement modern systems, you multiply efficiency without sacrificing quality. Can you imagine buying an accounting firm with 100 small clients and, in 6 months, systemizing the process to handle 200 without hiring anyone else? That's real scalability. But here's an important objection you might have. You're going to think, but people can do their accounting with apps. Yes, freelancers can. Serious businesses with real tax responsibilities are not going to risk it with an app. They pay for the peace of mind of knowing a professional reviewed everything. Without overthinking it, I classify this business as excellent. But we're not at the best yet. Wait, because something even more impressive is coming. Business 7. Commercial insurance agencies. Imagine for a second that you have to call 100 companies to sell them insurance. Cold, no contacts, no references. How long do you think it would take you to close your first deal? Probably months. Now imagine that instead of calling 100 cold companies, you buy an insurance agency where those same 100 companies have already been renewing their policies for 5 years. Every year, every client pays you a commission without you doing absolutely anything. You just handle the renewal paperwork. That's what makes this business so powerful. Commercial insurance is mandatory for many industries. Businesses that operate vehicles, locations with customers, construction companies, restaurants, hotels, they all need insurance, and they all renew it year after year. Here's the magic. Operating costs are minimal. There's no inventory. There's no physical equipment that breaks down. Just recurring income and the administrative team that is already working. And another important detail. Commercial insurance clients don't switch easily because changing agencies means explaining their entire business again, recalculating policies, and taking on risk during the transition. Most prefer to stay with their current agent even if they find something slightly cheaper. Because of its recurring cash flow, its scalability without additional investment, and the natural inertia of clients, I classify commercial insurance agencies as excellent. It's one of the most stable businesses out there for someone who wants to invest and sleep peacefully. Business 8. Pest control services. If I told you there's a business where your clients are legally required to pay you every month and can barely cancel the contract, would you believe it? Well, it exists. It's called pest control for businesses. Restaurants, hospitals, supermarkets, hotels, schools, food factories. All of these industries are legally required to have regular pest control services. It's not optional. If they want to operate, they need it. And why is it so good? Because it combines 3 elements that are rare to find together: mandatory compliance, recurring revenue, and low competition from large companies. Large pest control corporations like Rentokil do exist, but they don't serve every business. There are thousands of small and medium-sized companies that prefer a local provider who understands their area, their type of business, their specific needs. That's where the opportunity is. Can you imagine having 50 restaurants paying you $150 a month each just for monthly preventive fumigation? That's $7,500 in recurring monthly revenue, practically guaranteed, while the restaurant owner barely even thinks about you. But there's a catch. You need certified technicians, specialized equipment, and knowledge of local regulations. This isn't a business you set up in a week. If you buy an existing one, you skip that entire process. Because of its mandatory compliance model, its monthly recurrence, and its fragmented market, I classify pest control as excellent. And now, go ahead and like the video and get ready, because the hidden gem I promised at the beginning is coming. Business 9. Grease trap cleaning services. we've reached the moment I promised at the beginning of the video. And before I tell you, let me warn you, this business is going to sound disgusting, ridiculous, even funny. But I want you to stick with me until the end, because that's exactly why it's perfect. Grease traps. Do you know what they are? In every restaurant in the world, under the kitchen sink, there's a container that captures grease and waste before it reaches the sewer system. If that trap isn't cleaned regularly, two things happen. The kitchen floods with sewage, and the city hits them with a massive fine for contamination. This means that every restaurant in your city, without exception, is required to hire someone to clean their grease trap. By law, every 1 or 2 months, it costs between $70 and $300 per service, depending on the size. Now multiply that. If you have 100 restaurants as clients, that's between $7,000 and $30,000 in recurring monthly revenue, practically guaranteed, in a business where almost nobody wants to compete. Why does nobody compete? Because the work is unpleasant, it's dirty, it smells. And that's exactly why the few operators that exist have the market to themselves. It's a business where the psychological barrier to entry is what creates the opportunity. And there's more. When a trap gets clogged on a Saturday night, it's not optional to fix it. The restaurant can't operate until you show up, and you charge emergency rates, which can be 3 times the normal price. Can you imagine the contrast? While everyone else is fighting to open the next trendy restaurant or the next overpriced laundromat, someone quietly is building a business that cleans grease traps, generates impressive revenue, and sleeps peacefully because they basically have a monopoly in their area. For all these reasons, grease trap cleaning services, along with similar sanitation services like industrial drain unclogging and septic tank cleaning, go straight into my hidden gem category. It's the perfect example that serious money is not where everyone is looking, but where nobody wants to look. Let's recap quickly. The trap businesses, the ones most heavily sold online, e-commerce brands and agencies. The risky ones, small franchises. The good ones, pallet recycling, commercial refrigeration. The excellent ones, accounting, commercial insurance, pest control. And the hidden gem, sanitation services and grease trap cleaning. But the real lesson of this video is not the list. It's the pattern. Did you notice what all the good businesses have in common? Recurring clients, no competition from large corporations, compliance or urgency that forces people to pay, and they're as boring as a Sunday afternoon. If you memorize these 4 filters and apply them to any business you're considering buying, you're going to make better decisions than 95% of the investors I know. The real secret is not finding the perfect business. It's understanding what makes a business safe, and that's exactly what we just learned together. Before we wrap up, I'm going to ask you for something. Tell me in the comments which of these businesses you didn't expect to see on the Hidden Gems list. The most mentioned answer is going to become the next video on the channel, where I'm going to go deeper with real cases, concrete numbers, and exactly how to get started step by step. And if you made it this far, don't subscribe for me, subscribe for yourself. Because in part 2 of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how these businesses are bought, how much to pay, how to negotiate with the current owner, what documents to ask for before signing anything, the mistakes that almost cost someone I know $100,000, and the exact conversation you need to have with the bank if you need financing. That part 2 is not something you're going to want to miss. Turn on the notification bell now so you get it when it comes out. See you in the next video on Successful Entrepreneur.